It's time to take scissors to these dreadlocks. But I'm also going to need my crown nectar and my cooling veil. This is a routine I like to do about once a week or so where I go through and thoroughly take care of my dreads. This means I do a full separation. This is something you'll actually want to do on a daily basis for the first month you have a new set of dreadlocks, but once you've had them and they've dreaded up some, you don't need to do it every day. Basically what I'm doing is putting a few pumps of crown nectar on my hands, going through, and I'm separating one by one from the root, sliding my hand down it to make sure there's no knots, no loose hairs that are kind of like grabbing onto other ones. You'll also notice I am checking the ends of my hair and checking for knots like this. I'm going through and taking those knots that are there and just cutting them off with a pair of scissors. That keeps them nice and clean looking and properly dreading so there's not weird fuzz balls and basically looking yucky. So I go through my entire head like this. When I go through my entire head, I probably use 5-6 pumps or so total on my dreadlocks of the crown nectar. So that I'm really getting a good layer of crown nectar on them. They're getting separated really well. I'm getting some crown nectar up by the roots a little bit closer. So this routine, again, is not something you need to do every single day, unless your dreadlocks are brand new. Then you want to do it every day where you go through and do them one by one to separate them so they can dread up properly and not become a big giant mess. This is also time when I would go through and make sure that I am redoing any of the ones that may be really, really loose that I'm not comfortable with, maybe that I can slide my pinky into the space there. That's when I would normally redo them. Now for this set, I actually need to take them out here probably in the next week or so, and so I'm not going to work on fixing any of them. They're a little bit loose because I know I'm actually going to be taking them out. I'm not planning to leave them for another 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that. If that were the case, I would definitely redo them because you don't want them too loose and moving around too much, because that can actually, if your hair starts twisting and stuff, that's when your hair can start breaking. It can be a little bit too much tension on it. This routine usually takes me about 10 to 15 minutes, somewhere in there, so it's not crazy long. It's actually still faster than doing my natural hair every day, but it's something that is really important, and you don't have to do it, like I said, all the time, so it makes it really easy. Yes, one more thing, check out those ends. Sometimes those ends can get little fuzz balls on them. They can get a little bit frizzy to where they're not as clean looking. I like to go through and do a little angle cut on them, just a tiny, tiny snip at the very, very end to snip it off, and that cleans the ends up a lot as well. When it comes to cleaning up the ends, I will say I probably only do this every other install, so this is not happening a lot, so you're not taking a lot of length off. However, it is something that's good to do.